Robin, I'm going to start with you because you've had your fair share.
Because I'm legendary. Because I'm legendary.
Yeah, exactly. Underline that part. You've had some incredible assignments over an illustrious career in broadcasting. How would you characterize this moment tonight coming full circle to call the game with Geno almost 30 years later?
Oh, my goodness. You know what, Christine, thank you for asking that. And I've been very blessed to do a lot of different things in my long career. But this is special because, as you showed, we were there in the beginning. And to be here 30 seasons later and to see the atmosphere, to see the level of play on the court means everything. And then to be with this knucklehead, this really, I felt like a kid in class again because I had my notes and I'm trying to hide them because he's like stealing my notes and everything because he comes nothing in front of him. But he doesn't need it. He's legendary in his own mind.
I just say what they tell me to say. It's a lot safer that way. I don't get in as much trouble.
He to me slots in now as one of the most important dominoes post LeBron. Whenever LeBron makes his decision, I think a lot of the league is waiting on that, but he's going to decide to not go to several teams who will still be looking for veteran wing help. I see the Miami Heat. I'd anticipate them being interested potentially in DeMar DeRozan. The Warriors, I've already been told it's a guy they will look into at some point in the coming days, especially if they do not get LeBron James. There's some heartwarming potential landing spots, right? The Clippers play in his hometown. The Raptors, he's so famous. Those are two teams that compete that could use him. And the reality is he should be coming at such a bargain that really any team in the league that just needs some bench scoring should be looking at him.
All right, so we'll wait for LeBron and then we'll wait for DeMar. We're also in the middle of the Summer League. What can you tell us about the rookies so far, starting with Axel Lindeborg with the Warriors?
Yeah, I'm out here in California where they're playing this Cali Classic in Sacramento and in San Francisco. And, the Warriors drafted Yaxel, who you mentioned, 11th overall. And part of the appeal of that, it was like they needed somebody right now to go. And what you've seen from him is he just looks like a ready-made wing, 6'9", good size. He's been really physical in his games. He shot the three well. He went 4 of 4 in his debut from three, and asked him afterwards how good of a three-point shooter he thought he could be. And, he mentioned 37% and better. If he does that, I think he slots into a lot of lineups. Then in Sacramento, Darius Acuff, the Kings are turning their franchise over right now, and part of that is they're going to turn their offense over to Darius Acuff. He took 29 shots in 24 minutes in his summer.
Never seen it. 10 RBIs by a Pirate. Ryan O'Hearn, the first Pirate with a 10 RBI game. 10. A perfect 10. Hats off, tarps off for you, Ryan O'Hearn. Has thrown them all in.
You've got De Bruyne, you've got Lukaku probably coming off the bench, you've got Courtois. How good is this Belgium team?
Look, it's a good team that hasn't quite clicked in this tournament. Obviously being, 2-0 down in the round of 32 and coming back spectacularly to get that victory can obviously build momentum, but we just haven't seen this Belgian side perform that the way we think they can. We also know that players like Jeremy Doku, Trossard, they can be a thorn in any defender's side, regardless of what level. The U.S. has been so successful in pressing hard, in stifling their opponent in their own half. There's a little different speed on this Belgian side. So if they are able to break that initial pressure, they have the pace to get in behind, which hasn't been the case for the opponents that the U.S. have played so far. So, yeah, this to me is one of those matches where you're looking at a 50-50. If the U.S. plays well, they'll win. If Belgium has their best match and their stars have those moments that only stars can have, then it's going to be a tough day for the U.S.
Novak Djokovic does it one more time on center court at Wimbledon.
I would say disappointment or letdown might be an understatement based on the expectations of the players, but also the fans coming into this game, right? I know we're going to get into some tactical stuff and mistakes made, but I do want to start here because what do the kids call it? Aura, vibes. It just didn't feel like to me, guys, that when the game started, they had that same energy that we'd seen all the other games so far in this World Cup. Jeff, I want to start with you. What was that feeling or that lack of feeling that you saw when the game started?
Yeah, you could see it. They were like apprehensive from the first game we played in the World Cup against Paraguay. We set the tone. We were aggressive. We had this energy. We didn't have that tonight, and I think all over the pitch we were second best. And you could sense that we were second guessing. Do we step? Do we drop? We're giving them too much respect. Hey, they're a top 10 FIFA ranked team, right? But you got to give them respect, but you don't give them too much respect. They're also playing in front of our fans. And for us, I think we were apprehensive, we were nervous. Those are all big things. You know, there's a huge knockout game. This is a rematch from 2014, which I had the privilege to play in. Listen, I understand those nerves, but just we had too much quality to go out the way we did tonight. I'm gutted, really.
Yeah.
From the jump, I mean, they were all over us. We were second to every ball, the second behind every pass, every tackle. They were all over us, and it knocked the wind out of us, and I think we never got our second wind. It was frustrating to watch. I know they would be disappointed. It really is difficult to swallow. At the end of the day, it's hard to go out like this, especially when they played so well leading into this with so much confidence, so much swagger, like you said, to show up today. It really hurts.
You know, I don't care what sport we're talking about. The expectation is that big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. That's the cliche, but it's also the truth and how greatness is really defined. And you take a look at maybe the USA's three best players throughout this tournament. Matt Freese in goal obviously played well. Christian Pulisic supposed to be the best player on the team, and Flo Balogun obviously had some controversy around him being able to play in this game. But those three guys did not play, Breck, as if they were the three best players on this squad. What do you say about the guys that are supposed to be making the most for Team USA and not being able to do so in this game?
Yeah, again, it's hard to swallow. I don't know what was going on in the team or in the locker room or at halftime, but you had this feeling second half they were going to come out. Okay, I understand the first half we started slow, but the second half never really got going. I mean, there was a few glimpses maybe on Tillman's goal, but the minute leading up to that foul, it was the best sequence of play. And obviously Tillman was a highlight for this team all tournament. And Balogun, he fought hard, but he just didn't have the service at all. He just didn't get a chance to make an impact on the game because he just never really got the ball. But credit to Belgium. They shut down Christian Pulisic desk, had to come out at halftime. They just didn't give him a second to breathe.
Yeah, Pulisic had lost the ball 11 times, I think, in like 45 plus minutes of play, and you just can't have that from your best player in any sport, right? But Jeff, let me go here too. Like, how much credit, though, do we give Belgium in terms of how they took away any type of momentum from Team USA and maybe even some of the things they did with their lineup that got the U.S. side maybe just out of sync?
I mean, when I saw their starting lineup, I was a bit shocked. You leave Kevin De Bruyne and you leave Doku on the bench. They brought in some younger guys, studs with energy, legs up and down the field. But, you know, I said it the other day, whoever controlled the center of the park, the center of the pitch, was going to win this match. And they were the ones that dictated the tempo. They were the ones that controlled the center of the field. And we were, you know, Tyler Adams was getting dragged out, Weston McKennie. We were just losing too many simple passes. And that disrupted the flow of our game. And they picked us apart. We made three simple, you know, mistakes, poor mistakes. Maybe you can get away with that in a group stage game. And you can't get away with that with a knockout, because with a team like this, with top players, they'll capitalize on those mistakes. And that's what they did. You know, I'm not in one to come and bash players for their performance. Listen, I've been on the other end. It's horrible to listen to pundits like myself now and all that. You don't want to hear that. But the one thing is, I am proud of these guys and what they did for the U.S., for the fans, for the inspiration that they provided these kids that have an opportunity to dream a little bit bigger. And, you know, for me, that's where I started my dream. In the 1994 World Cup, I got to see, you know, my first World Cup match. It inspired me to become a professional soccer player, and I was able to play for 20 years. So for me, that's what's the biggest takeaway that I take out. Yeah, did the guys leave it all out there? For sure. But that moment, these kids get to witness and watch these guys play and represent their country. That's inspiring. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I'm sure overall it's a success. And we mentioned some of the things they'd never done before, but it's how they ended is going to sort of linger for a while. But let's go big picture. Let's go to the future, okay? And Breck, let me start with you. How will this performance impact the future success of the next World Cup that Team USA plays in potentially?
I'm excited for the future. You got a lot of these guys that'll hopefully be there at the next World Cup. It was exciting. They had a lot of really good stuff throughout the tournament. Really exciting play, exciting players. And like Jeff said, I'm proud of this group as a whole. They inspired the country. They captivated not just only soccer fans, but sports fans in general to fall in love with the game like me and Jeff did. And this is why we love the game. There's disappointments. There's ups and downs. And quite frankly, there's a lot more downs than there are ups in sports. And we all know that.
Yeah.
And the U.S. really need to continue to put themselves in good opportunities to play against top countries like a Belgium, whether it's England, going toe-to-toe with those guys, because that's where we gain experience. These knockout games, that's where you grow, you know, you grow bigger in these moments and you get comfortable, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And these are the moments, the pressure, the Copa America that's going to come to the U.S. That's massive for us, and giving that experience.